You guys, today we're taking a look at the newest release from Dior. I got a little box here, and this is my first day back in a while because there's been a lot of construction going on here. And I'm pleased. I'm going to be a little off, so I was shooting off and on when I could. And those I haven't edited yet, but more coming up, and you'll see how I'm a little off. I'm hoping today I will be a little more like myself. So a lot of the things I'm going to be doing aren't brand new out of the gate, but this is pretty new. And I got three things. They have a new blush. I think it's called Popeline Pink. I did take notes and I printed them and I left them in the other room. I decided to go with another blush color because the palette that wasn't my favorite palette. This is called Peach Popeline, and the other one I think is called Pink Organza, and it had this kind of lavender pink in the center, which if you were new here, I am really into lavender. I think it's underdone in makeup and it's beginning to happen now, so I'm pleased. But I got this one, and online I thought, well, okay, I see the peach, but I see a little pink as well, which suits me a little bit better. I can do warm colors. They kind of set up my eyes because they're hazel green, and they look amazing with oranges, but for some reason, I don't really love to wear them all that much. But while this is peach, it's peachy pink, and I think more wearable for a wider variety of people, perhaps. And I decided to go with a blush color that I have not tried, and this is Rose Popeline. Now, I know, I couldn't help it. I just thought, so pretty. I don't know if it's going to work on my skin tone, but we are going to give it a try. And I got this because, oh my God, made me a mistake, because I thought if this was warmer in real life, the pink would help balance it out a little bit. And then I got the lip maximizer in a new color, and I gotta tell you something. I put this on first thing this morning. I just wanted to see what color it was to make sure everything was gonna be okay. And it did maximize my lips. I've taken it off since then, but it works. It works. And this is in the color Frosted Pink, but it's not all that frosted, but it is shiny. I've already done my foundation. I did the Dior Forever Natural Nude in 2N, and this is the time of year where it works. I'll show you the B-roll me putting it on, and you can see it just works with the ears, it works with the neck. It doesn't work for me too often. I can wear this for the next couple of months, and I'm going to leave it out here, but it's so beautiful. Not full coverage, but really looks like skin. I'll just bring you in, and it just evens everything out. It doesn't cover all my redness, but it looks like real skin, and I highly recommend that foundation. I just don't wear it enough. And I'm wearing the Tom Ford, and I didn't do anything to my lids to prep them. I'm just going to pat them of moisture, and we're gonna pick up a brush and kind of figure it out. But first, let's do some swatches. So, here. Okay, lighter than I would have thought. Ooh, pretty. I don't know if you can see that against my skin, but there's a reflective quality to this. It's pink to golden. Pretty. So that's that shade right here, and this is kind of peachy, and this is kind of peachy. And that blush I was telling you about that is new and exclusive is very similar to this. In fact, you know, you could probably just put a blush brush in here. Powder is powder. And there they are. So here are the warmer tones. Okay. It's funny because when I looked at it last night, I thought, oh my God, this is so warm. And I couldn't figure out what to wear. So I thought, well, gray's kind of neutral, but it's not. It's cool. But, oh, that's so pretty. I think I have a lipstick in that color. So this is spring. This is spring without being too pink. I'm going to go all over the lid with this color. This is from a Sky set from Sonia G. And I have all my brushes that I use a lot, for the eyes especially, in my description box. And just all over the lid, kind of as a base. Oh, okay, so there's a pinkness to this, and it is a little bit frosted. That's really pretty. I've been lately watching reruns of Sex and the City, last couple of years of it, the final couple of years. And I noticed that they had one and done colors on the girls, but they were going for really kind of interesting colors, like a whitish color, Miranda. Sometimes they all kind of go for grays, but this reminds me of that. If it suits your facial structure to use a light color as a one and done, this is a good one. But I'm just going to use it as a base for everything else. I'm just kind of trying out all the colors to see what they are. I think I'll just bring it all the way to the brow, whatever's left. And we might go in again and do inner corner, but I kind of covered everything. Okay, pretty color, pretty color. So I'm going to do transition with this shade. It may be a little dark, but we're going to try it, and if it is, then I'll dip in to this color afterwards, just to tone everything down. It's going on really nicely, and it's not too dark, but everything has a bit of a sheen here, so it may look dark when something's not reflected on it. No, it's subtle. I like it. I like the Dior shadows because I feel that because they are subtle, you can build them, but unlike the Denona or the Pat McGrath, and I love both, you have to be so careful with your first dip because they have a lot of pow, and you might end up blending for a century. And not the case with the Dior shadows. Really, really pretty. Look at that. It doesn't say spring. I think all of these colors could probably be one and done. For spring, if you're going for a more casual kind of look, I'm going to try to get all these colors on my lid so we can just see. But I think in reality, no one really needs more than 2 shades or 3 shades. I actually have, it's really cold in Los Angeles. I can see my breath at night, which is a lot. So I have to wear a sweater. But I do have this sleeper dress in those linen sleeper dresses that were really hot a couple of years ago in a peach color. And this would be fabulous with that. So there we have both. I think I got a little bit higher on this side, so I'm just going to go a little bit higher here. Very, very nice. Now I think for your third color, you either want to go warm, you'll use this one, or if you want to go cooler or pinker, you'll do this one. Because this shade is a little bit warm, I'm going to go for the pinker one for balance and do kind of the inner corner. And I think I'm using a Wayne Goss brush. I'm sorry about that. I just didn't grab my Hakuhodo, but these are no longer being made. Again, subtle, and I'm sure I would get more payoff if I wasn't using a squirrel brush. But this is so pretty. Just feminine and sweet and lovely, and I'm here for it. I don't know what to do with this color. I do have a lip color like this from Lisa Eldridge's Sunday Matinee. I think is very similar to this. Has a very retro kind of vibe to it. But I want to do the lip maximizer. I'm going to use it because after all, you're trying to decide if you want it. So I'm going to use it, but if this were just doing makeup for me, I think I'd leave it. I'd do some mascara, and I'd probably bring that color up a little bit more because my hood is bugging me. But I'm going to do this right here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a stiffer brush. This also Sonia G, and this is Dyed Goat. So this will pick up more and lay down more. And just do maybe outer corner. I love these. You know what? These feel like the colors just meld into each other. They're close enough. They don't look that close to each other here, I don't think. But when you put them on, they're all close enough to just look like it's a material that as you move, it changes colors, that it's multi-dimensional, one shade. And unlike many Benny Pinks, I don't think this gives you that rabbity thing. I'm just going to kind of buff it here and get it a little bit more intense. And then I'm going with the Refer 01. This is Goat. And I just want to work on the transition so there's no sharp line and bring that color just up a little bit more. I don't know. This might have been called an organza color because this kind of looks organza-ish. Super pretty. So let's give this one a try. Could have been a mistake. Possibly. But you never know. Sometimes you put something on and it transforms. I don't think it's transforming. Maybe this would be good as a powder if you have a foundation on that's too yellow or too dark. You could put this all over the face to kind of de-yellow something, but this is far too light for me. It was so pretty. I was seduced by the prettiness, and I wasn't thinking smart. I do have, however, some other Diors, so let me turn off the camera and look for those, and we'll be right back. All right, I have two choices. This is 352. It doesn't say what shade, but it's a little bit warm, and I think it would tie on with this eyeshadow color very, very nicely. And the other one is called Rouge, but online it's called Rouge. Here it's called Sillage Satin, and it's supposed to be a greigey kind of color. So this one is a little bit more pink, and this one is a little bit more warm. Let's do one on each side. Let's just have some fun. So 352. Very pretty, and I think it works nicely with the shadows. And I'll take a different brush. That was my Hakuhodo. I'm going to take my Sukyu and go in with the Rouge. Oh, I think I like this one better. I think I overdid it. I'm just going to go over with the Beauty Blender a little bit. Yeah, this one is the one. I'm going to go in with the first one while I still have some more of that greige there, just to even them up a little bit. And I hate to put more on because I think I went a little too heavy with that greige, but okay, okay. I'm not going to look crazy when I go out. All right, let me do eyeliner, mascara, eyebrows, come back for the lip. Back. What a difference a little mascara and liner and brows make. I think it just gives you a little bit focus. So we're just going to get on with it with the lip. This is the Lip Maximizer in Frosted Pink, and it's right here. Now Frosted Pink to me reminds me of Cheryl Tiegs, right? With the blue eyeshadow and the frosted lipstick, the early 70s, maybe late 60s, and it's not something I want to recreate at all, but I don't think this is that. I think it's almost like no color at all, and it doesn't have sparkly bits. It doesn't read to me what Frost reads. I feel that for me, this would be a color I would wear actually probably a little more casually because it doesn't do anything to emphasize my lips, if that makes sense. I need a border around it that you can see, and I feel like it, I don't know, I don't think it's super, super flattering. I can't explain to you what my aversion to glosses is, but I do feel that they don't make my lips look smaller. I think if you have large lips, they make them look larger, but if your lips are on the smaller side, I feel that the glistening, which is at the fullest part of the lip up here, is where the eye goes, and so you don't see the outline, and so your lips look smaller. I'm just going to get a lip liner. I think this is a little bit better. This is the Victoria Beckham, and I will post the color down below. And that is it. I think if I was wearing something a little peach, it would help. So I'm going to go upstairs and get something peach, and we'll be right back. Nice difference. Nice difference. Yeah. I don't know if you're going to see what I'm seeing in real life. I'm looking in the mirror, I'm looking here, and I'm thinking they're reading very, very similarly. But the blush has a bit of a sheen to it. Let's show that blush. That really is going with this whole story. I had cleaned my hands when I changed my shirt, but there's a little bit of sheen here. If you can't find a color to go with this and you don't want the limited edition one, this is a really, really nice one. And it's 352, but I feel like it's just working so well with this eye, and it's super, super fresh and super, super happy making. I love it. So let's go over. This was the mistake. This was me thinking, oh, maybe it's one of those colors that looks like one thing but turns out to be something else. It's extraordinarily fair. I will say this though, if you are like me and you find a lot of foundations are too warm, too orange or too yellow, I oftentimes use a pink powder. The By Terry powder is one that I use. Givenchy has one, but I find it to be a bit drying. And Bobbi Brown used to have one, but doesn't anymore, but I think I still have some of hers. This would help you out. Also, if you have a foundation that is too dark for you, this might help lighten it up a little bit. I think it has a usefulness, but it's not what I thought it might be. Silly me, that was a mistake. This one, yes, it is warm. This is a peachy kind of coppery thing, but it doesn't have that real deep copper to it, which I'm not a big fan of. It has a very light, diaphanous, feminine, gauzy, yummy look to it, and I really like it. And I also think, as I said when I was putting these on, I think any one of these could be a one and done, because there's a shimmer to it or movement to it without being glittery or gaudy or too much. So this, I'm pleasantly surprised, because I really wanted the other one that is out of stock, and now I'm not too sad about missing the other one. So I'm really glad about this. And now that this has been on, I've rubbed it into my lips, I put on a lip liner. I think it's working really nicely, actually. I do like it. I do have another lip maximizer somewhere. I think it's in the living room. I keep things in the living room when my lips are dry and just, put them on. And I think that's where that one is. I don't know if you could say that this particular product, the different colors, I think imparts the slightest bit of difference. So if you have one, maybe you don't need this one. I think I really actually like this one. There's a slight milkiness to my lips that I really like. I like that a lot. I'm going to put on some more. I will say that my lips are a little bit dark, considering how light I am. If you are someone who has light lips, you'll probably see a difference with this particular product from shade to shade. But if your lips are a little bit darker, I mean, in the morning my lips aren't dark, but once the blood gets flowing, they get darker. You may not see a difference. So, up to you if that's something that you think you need. Their mascara, and again, this Laura Geller liner, I just use it all the time now because it's not a dark, dark, dark brown. It's a little bit softer. And my usual eyebrow, which is NYX. And that's it. And I do think it's spring. I do feel pretty, and it's been a while. It's been a while since I said pretty. All right, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.